America's oldest surviving and arguably one of the most successful luxury car brands is the Buick. What's less known, however, is that the firm was founded by a Scot from Arbroath, who, as well as building cars, was also a keen inventor before becoming a major name in the North American car industry. He invented the overhead valve engine, forerunner of the overhead cam engine used in most cars today. Stay with us until the end to find out what else David Buick invented. This is the story of the brilliant Mr. David Dunbar Buick. Before we turn the key and start the engine, please support independent Scottish TV by liking and sharing this film and subscribing to the Scotland channel. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to be notified of new releases from the Scotland channel. For information about our other films available to stream now on the Scotland channel, visit our website thescotlandchannel.tv or go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@thescotlandchannel/videos. David Dunbar Buick was born in Arbroath, Angus, in 1854. He displayed an interest in inventing things from an early age. But it was as a pioneer of the American motor industry that Buick is best known, and his legacy continues to this day. David moved with his family to Detroit in 1856 at just 2 years of age. His father, Alexander Buick, was a joiner and carpenter, but like so many people in the mid-1800s, he and his family left in search of better opportunities than were available to ordinary working-class people at the time, despite the fact that Britain was the most powerful and richest country in the world. Economic conditions for ordinary people were harsh, with many living in abject poverty throughout Britain, but especially in Scotland, Wales and Ireland. In 1902, David Buick founded the Buick Manufacturing Company with the aim of producing cars and engines which he could sell to other car makers. Unfortunately, the business failed within a year, but undeterred, Buick was back a year later, having founded the Buick Motor Company, which went on to become a widely respected car brand and America's oldest surviving make of car. But car manufacturing wasn't Buick's first foray into business. After leaving school at the age of 15, he went to work for a plumbing supplies company. When the company ran into difficulty in 1882, he and a partner purchased it, and with Buick's innovation and his business partner's sound management skills, the company became quite successful. By the 1890s, Buick developed a growing interest in the internal combustion engine and started experimenting with them, which led to his business partner becoming impatient with him and the plumbing business partnership being dissolved. But with the plumbing business now sold, Buick had the time and the capital to work on engines full-time, and he set up Buick Automotive and Power Company in 1899 initially to develop engines. As well as engines, he began to move towards building entire cars as Detroit started to become the centre of the American car-making industry. But he concentrated too much time on research and development rather than manufacturing and sales, and it wasn't long before he ran out of capital with only one car actually built. However, during this time he had developed the overhead valve engine, which was more powerful than the side valve engines being produced by other manufacturers during this period. Since all overhead cam engines are design variants of overhead valve engines, all modern engines are derivatives of Buick's invention. But Buick was forced to raise more capital, which he successfully did when friend and fellow car enthusiast Benjamin Briscoe loaned him $5,000, equivalent to around $175,000 today. With this financial backing, Buick formed the Buick Motor Company, which would eventually become the cornerstone of the General Motors empire. However, in 1906, Buick accepted a severance package from the company he had founded when president of Buick, William C. Durant, bought his sole share in the company from him for $100,000, worth around $3.5 million in today's money. After some successful investments in the Californian oil industry and real estate in Florida, and an attempt with his son Tom to manufacture carburetors, Buick made a brief return to the automotive industry in 1921 as president of the short-lived Lorraine Motor Company, and with the design of the Dunbar, an automobile prototype, in 1923. But in an interview with historian and journalist Bruce Catton in 1928, Buick admitted that he was almost broke, unable to even afford a telephone. Buick worked for a brief spell as an instructor at the Detroit School of Trades before dying of colon cancer on March 5, 1929. Buick is buried at the Woodmere Cemetery in Detroit, the same cemetery in which Henry M. Leland, founder of the Cadillac and Lincoln luxury car brands, is also buried. Businessman Theodore F. McManus noted that fame beckoned David Buick, who had sipped from the cup of greatness and then spilled what it held. Nevertheless, to date, more than 35 million cars have been built in his name, something which will never be lost to history. Let's take a nostalgic look at some of those 35 million cars which include the following iconic models. David Buick was inducted into the Automotive Hall of Fame in 1974. The Buick car logo, the tri-shield, is rooted in the ancestral coat of arms of founder David Dunbar Buick. Another interesting fact is that Buick was, until recently, one of China's most popular, best-selling cars. In 2016, General Motors sold over 1.1 million Buicks in China. But thanks largely to Trump's tariff hikes on imported goods leading to other countries, in particular China, retaliating against American goods, Buick's Chinese sales have taken a nosedive. These tariff wars have led to concern, shared by all US car makers, that American cars will become unaffordable even in the USA, because many of the parts used in their manufacture are from outside the United States, whilst many of the export markets are seeing retaliative tariffs applied to them. Buick owners, the General Motors Corporation predict a continuing drop in car sales throughout the remainder of 2025 and 2026. Donald Trump would do well to remember that David Buick and his family were also immigrants to the United States, and like virtually the entire population there today, many made great contributions to the development of the country. We mentioned at the start of this film that David Buick was a keen inventor, as well as being a big name in the American motor industry. Aside from the groundbreaking overhead valve engine, the other two most notable things Buick invented were lawn sprinklers and a process to enamel cast iron bathtubs. And although the latter are not so common these days, the process is still used today. We hope you have found this film informative. Don't forget to subscribe to the Scotland channel on YouTube. Thanks for watching.